The scripture continues, and it came to pass, when Joseph was come unto his brethren, that they had stripped Joseph of his coat of many colors, and they took him, and they cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty. There was no water in it. It seems he had no chance for survival. Joseph now found himself stuck in a pit. A man made whole, 13 feet deep and only 3 feet wide. Imagine how cramped that must be for you. With no food and no water. But this was no ordinary pit for Joseph. This was P-I-T, purpose in transition. This was P-I-T, purpose in transition. This transition into purpose was a turning point for Joseph. And what comes after the pit was the catalyst for his destiny. Come on. The scripture continues saying, and they sat down to eat bread. Having lunch after throwing you into a pit. Come on. Enjoying themselves after throwing you into a pit. Stripping you down and tossing you into a dirt hole. And eating right after that.
Celebrated.
Celebrated.
Come on.
And they sat down to eat bread, and they lifted their eyes up and looked. And behold, a company of Ishmaelites came down from Gilead with their camels, bearing spicery and balm and myrrh, going to carry it down to Egypt. In verse 27, Judah, one of the brothers, says, "Come, and let us sell him to the Ishmaelites, and let not our hand be upon him, for he is our brother and our flesh." And his brethren were content. They said, "Oh, we won't touch him. We won't hurt him. We'll just give him away. We didn't do anything wrong.
Come on.
It's not us. It's him. We didn't hit him. We didn't kill him. We didn't draw any blood. We just gave him away. We got rid of him."
Come on.
And they were content. Then there passed by Midianites merchantmen, and they drew and lifted Joseph up out of the pit. And Joseph is probably thinking, "Oh man, they changed their minds. They've come to save me. God has spoken to them. They're saving me. They're taking me out of the pit." And they sold Joseph to the Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. And they brought Joseph into Egypt. Going down to verse 36, and the Midianites sold him into Egypt unto Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh's and captain of the guard. In this position of slavery, God was with Joseph. And Potiphar found favor in Joseph and made him have provision over all that he owned. But Joseph was then thrown into prison for a crime he did not commit. But because he knew his purpose, he knew the destiny promised to him by God, he did not lose faith. Pharaoh's butler, who had offended Pharaoh, was thrown into jail with Joseph. And this butler had a dream, and he told it to Joseph. Joseph interpreted this dream and told the butler that he would rise back into his position with Pharaoh. And he asked the butler to tell Pharaoh about him, to which he forgot about Joseph, leaving him in prison for 2 more long years. While man may forget about us, God never forgets. After the 2 years more Joseph spent in